Thanks for the support as a channel member, Jack Watson. Well, we've just spent more money in one summer than probably Barnsley have spent in the entire history of the football club combined. We broke the club record transfer 3 times. Would have broken it 4 if we'd have done them in a different order. It's been a busy summer. I think we have a very good team. Let's not get stuck in a relegation battle again, eh? Hello and welcome to Club 3, Part 22 and On League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the first 2 games of the new Premier League season. We're away against Liverpool and at home against Wolves. If you missed the transfer special yesterday, you should go back and watch it. As you can see, it was a busy one. Lots in, lots out, somehow without messing up the dynamics. I consider that a bit of a result. And this is the new look team that we're sending into the first day of the new season against Liverpool. We've got Hilson in goal, who made his England debut over the summer. That England manager really rates him. What a legend the England manager is. A back four of Williams, new boys Panzo and Pieri at centre-back. They won't both start all the time. Tanganga's suspended at the moment. It will probably be one of those with Tanganga is what I'm thinking. And the other Williams at right-back. And we then got Stockbridge, new boy Stockbridge, and Mowat in midfield. I'm not sure if this is the right role for Stockbridge at the moment. Frustratingly, he wants to be a central midfielder on attack, which just doesn't fit into our system at all. Should have thought this through before signing him, but we'll teach him to play the role we want him to play. And then Gudja, new boy Gudja, with Oko Flex and Chong either side of him, and new boy Skuck up front. I have so many high hopes on Skuck. 21 years old, going to be an absolute superstar. Hopefully he starts to show us that in today's game and scores 8 goals against Liverpool. That would be the perfect outcome. Let's get a lovely team talk done. We are the underdogs here. We are still, after all of that, after spending £77 million, we are still the bookies' favourites to finish rock bottom of the Premier League. So, you have to put this in context. We are still Barnsley. We are still the smallest club in the Premier League. We have probably not the smallest fan base, actually, because I think Bournemouth are still in the Premier League and they must have a smaller fan base than Barnsley. Hilson, not a great start to the new season. Wow. Makes his England debut, comes back, and that was terrible. Oh, that's not the start we were looking for. Let's have a look at it from the other angle. I mean, it is straight at him. I've not even finished doing my little intro to the match, and that was so poor. We expect better. I don't know if we expect better. We hope for better. We certainly didn't get better there. And the one of the worries is that a lot of these big, expensive players we brought in have come in from players who've just been relegated from the Premier League. So, oh my word. Forget about worries. Skuck has just, within 2 minutes of his debut, has just turned up at Anfield and said, "You've not heard of me. You'll have heard of me in a minute. Look how hard I can kick a football." He has kicked that through the Liverpool goalkeeper. Brings it down. Bang. Fraser Hornby is quaking in his boots because he might never play again. And we talked about Hilson's mistake. I don't know, is Alisson at fault there for letting that go through him? I think he's less at fault than Hilson was for their goal because, I mean, there's no saving that. He hit it so hard. It almost passed through Alisson's body. I think he's probably he's left with an exit wound trying to save that. Goodness me. But Liverpool on the attack again, but we win the ball back and Williams looked to try and get an attack going. He was trying to play it out to Chong, but apparently we don't get to see where it ended up after heading out towards Chong. But I am so excited for the future of Skuck, having seen what he's just done there. I hope it's not just a debut moment of excitement and that's the last goal he'll score until Christmas. We've had that before. But I've been excited about him ever since I saw him early in the summer. I've been excited about him all summer. And now I'm even more excited having seen him score a goal 2 minutes into his debut. We haven't seen him do anything else since, though, because we haven't been able to muster up another shot, another chance, another attack, really, since then. And he's only as good as the team around him. If we can't get an attack going, he's probably not going to score goals. But the important thing is we're away at Liverpool and not losing. So I guess we don't need to worry too much about not creating much in the way of chances. We might actually finally have a prolific striker where if we have those matches where we create 3 or 4 chances, we won't miss them all now, which would be lovely because it gives us a little bit more of a chance in games like this where we're clearly being outclassed and dominated to actually stay in touch with the team who are outclassing and dominating us. But of course, just before half time, we go 2-1 down. We'll have a look at it from the other side. Hilson's not at fault this time, so he doesn't need to become the new scapegoat. Now we're probably going to see less of Rinomhota this season. Not that I ever made him my scapegoat. He was always your scapegoat, but I don't expect him to get very close to the team. Now we've got Stockbridge, Gudger have both come in. We've got the youngster Bood, who although he's out on loan, might come back at Christmas and will probably come back a better player than Rinomhota is. So I think he's very much like a 5th choice midfielder for us now. Although to be fair, he started last season there and ended up back in the team because we needed him. So there's every chance that he might play just as many games. It was a little bit of a mistake from Panzo there. We're not going to worry too much about that just yet. I do wonder about the sense of playing Panzo and Pieri together at centre-back because both of them, although they're showing as natural centre-backs on their positioning screen, the actual role that they're both natural in is wing-back at left-back. So we're kind of playing 3 left-backs at the moment and no centre-backs, even though those 2 can adequately cover there. I think we can get away with one of them alongside Tanganga. Whether we should be playing them both together or perhaps Stevens should have started today, I guess is a different matter. And Liverpool go 3-1 up and Martinez has a hat-trick for them, which he's done quite well today, hasn't he? I assume it's a hat-trick. It's his 3rd goal of the season. It didn't come up saying it was a hat-trick. Panzo doesn't really know which way he's facing there, does he? Well, okay, it's not a hat-trick, so I guess Liverpool have already played some kind of game in some kind of competition that's not this one for him to have already scored. We are not even in this game, are we? We beat Liverpool last season. I don't think it was in the away game. I think we beat them at home. But the thing to remember, of course, is even after all the excitement of that transfer window and all of the dreams we might have of, we can qualify for Europe with this squad, we're not going to. This is a squad that's very much still going to be in a relegation battle. The majority of these players we brought in are Championship players who might end up as good Premier League players. And now we're down to 10 men. So we do still need to be working on the basis that we're probably going to be in a relegation battle all year and sort of work accordingly. Why is the game not paused? We've had a player sent off. The game should be paused. Right, we're going to get Stevens on and I'm going to take off Chong, who has not turned up at all today. We can get one of our left backs actually out to left back, get Stevens into his normal position. Which one's going to be best out there? Pieri's better, so Panzo can stay in at centre-back. And can Gudger go out wide? I think he probably can. Stick him out there as an inside forward. That will do for now. Williams on a 5.7. I think that's probably because he got sent off. Presumably his score gets downgraded a little bit when he's sent off. And now Hilson has got an own goal. We didn't see what happened because it was happening while I was making the change. We need to have a look at the replay of this one. So free kick comes in. Hilson's having a nightmare today. Oh dear. Yes, make the changes. This has not been a very nice first day of the season. We need to do better against Wolves. Remember, Wolves were shocking last year. They were really poor. But it is a Wolves team who, throughout the rest of the save, have been a top half Premier League side. And now they're under a new manager who did get a run of form going and saved them. So we're not playing against a relegation-threatened Wolves in the next match. We're playing against a Wolves who are probably going to be a top half Premier League team again this year. I don't want to see us keep conceding goals. This is hideous. Scuck is the one bright spot of an otherwise pretty miserable afternoon. Mowat plays it over to Gudger, who's now out of position on the right-hand side. We've got several players on the bench who could play there. I could bring one of them on, but oh dear. I don't think who plays on our right wing is the issue today. Our defence is absolutely all over the place. I mean, it is a new-look defence. I don't want to keep seeing replays. Hilson's having a terrible game. Have I ruined him by giving him his England debut? Oh, I hope not. He was so good last year, but the media ridiculed me and him for him firstly being in the squad and then for making the mistake in the goal that we conceded against Gibraltar. All of this was in the transfer special yesterday. And yeah, I'm concerned. Don't read anything into a Liverpool match. I think that's got to be the rule. Let's take Gudger off. We can have a look at new boy Lashabella, who is a proper out-and-out winger on that left-hand side. I'm going to take off Okoflex as well. I know it's a little bit early to be... In fact, I'm tempted to take off Panzo and bring on Diaby. That's probably more sensible because the defence is all over the place. Let's get back to a defence that is a bit more used to playing together, just to try and stop the stream of goals going in. Yes, we could change to a more sensible system. We're not going to. That's not how we do things. The little timeline at the top there says it all, really. Our heads dropped. The moment Williams got sent off, we just fell apart. And I think we have sort of got ourselves back together again now. But while we were falling apart, we conceded 3 more goals. And I thought that was another one. Oh no. Right. I can't do a team talk in these circumstances. Well, that was awful. Yes, we were underdogs, but that performance will never, ever be acceptable. Well, in the spirit of not panicking after the Liverpool game, I've made just the one change. Stephen comes back in for the suspended Williams, there he is down there, Mr. Suspended 5.7. Tanganga still suspended just for one more game. So Pieri goes out to left back. So we go Stevens and Panzo at the back. We are at home against a team that struggled last year. I am hopeful that we see a little bit more out of this team today. If we struggle again against this lot, then we've got a problem. There you go. Assertively, I expect to see a much better performance from you tonight. Just remind them just how angry I was after that last game, because we were not good enough against Liverpool. I know it was Liverpool, but there's no excuses for losing a game the way we lost that game. I know we got to play. Okay, I'm going to make some excuses. We got a player sent off. It was the first day of the season. We made a lot of summer signings, blah, 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 but still unacceptable. We seem really far away. Almost as if Oakwell is bigger than Anfield, which perhaps it is. Who knows? I've never been to either of them. It might be much bigger or higher. Who knows? Williams down the right-hand side beats his man easily. This is more like it. We're actually attacking. Oh, look at that from Williams. Skips past his man, tucks it back to Stourbridge and Andy Stockbridge, not Stourbridge. Can't even say the man. I've just spent 15 million quid on him and can't spend his name. Spend his name? I need to go to bed. It's only 2:30 in the afternoon and I've got no words left. This is ridiculous. I'm recording this just after that transfer special. So I've been going 4 hours at this point and I'm a broken man. Yikes. But that is a lovely finish from Stockbridge. We are 1-0 up. That is more like it. That's what I was expecting from this new look side. Our talented young English players merging in with the likes of Williams, who've been here forever, and hopefully taking the best of what we already had and merging it in with some players who could go on to be absolute superstars, either for us or elsewhere. And it looks like it's a little bit closer to going to plan so far today. Wolves just knocking the ball around carefully. They want to be careful because we've got Scuck obviously knocking around the place, who is going to be very interested in any loose balls knocking around at the back. Was that Pieri who got across there to make that challenge? I kind of took my eye off it to start raving about Scuck again because he's all I want to talk about and missed a lovely piece of defending. One thing that didn't really come up in the transfer special, we had a number of £20 million plus offers for Moat over the summer, which I guess there is a very strong argument that we perhaps should have sold him. He's 30 now, but I mean, he was so important last year. I think it is a bit of a gamble, similar to the gamble we've had with McGeehan that didn't really come off because we turned down £10-12 million offers for him and then sold him this summer for £2 million. So we probably kept on to him a year too long. I don't think that's the case with Moat. He's our captain. He was by far and away our player of the year last year. Yes, there's a lot of youngsters coming in around him now, But I think the likes of him and Stevens, particularly, are some of our older players who've been here a while. Williams as well, Diaby, even Tanganga falls into that category now. I think we need them to help bring the likes of Stockbridge through. And if Mowat has a season almost as good as last year's season, then we'll still get some decent. We might be able to sell him for 10 million next summer, at which point it probably is time to let him go when he's 31. If we're getting big offers for him then we do look to let him go and build a midfield around Stockbridge, which is the plan. That's why we spent so much money on him. Hilson plucks the ball out of the air from the corner, comes through. That looks more like the James Hilson we all know and love after his terrible performance against Liverpool. Hopefully that was just a blip. Although Panzo, he picked up a yellow card in the last game. He's got another one today. He needs to be a little bit careful. Skuck now picks the ball up from deep, has a shot from range. I mean, he's hit that hard. Not as hard as he hit his goal against Liverpool, but he hit it hard. I'm just looking at the clear-cut chances. We've had 0 to Wolves' 3. They are going to feel pretty hard done by if they go in behind at half-time, although they might not be here because Van der Beek is in. Hilson, though, with a fantastic save. 4 clear-cut chances now for Wolves, but Hilson is he's doing what we got used to him doing all last year, which is keeping Woodman out of the team by making save after save after save after save. So that's much more like what we were expecting. Wolves attacking again, though. They're relentless today. They are very much trying to get themselves a goal before half-time, but Chong intercepts. Can he beat his man? If he can, he's going to be through on goal. He's struggling to beat him for pace, but does get the shot away in the end. It was at a very tight angle. Probably should have looked to square it for, I think it was Skuck who was up alongside him, but a little bit of life in Chong there today, which is always good to see. We know how good he can be on his good days and how bad he can be on his bad days, and I'm hoping we get a good day out of him today. He's motivated, which is probably half the battle with Chong. If we can get him wanting to do well, he generally does. Wolves with a corner, though. Stevens hits it right up in the air, looking for Occo Flex. He doesn't find him, and we're still under a little bit of pressure here. Van der Beek is in and does grab the equaliser for Wolves, which has been coming. They have been all over us pretty much for the last 30 minutes of this game. Certainly towards the end of that first half, they really started coming at us. And I mean, you look at the match stats and you can't argue that it's not been coming. It's just going to be a little bit of a test of our character now to see if we can go up the other end and find a win, because as much as I was saying how this is a Wolves team that isn't likely to be in a relegation battle this year, it is still a home game against a team who finished roughly near us. I think they probably did finish below us in the league last year. So if we are serious about not being dragged into a big, long relegation battle again, then this is the kind of game we have to be winning. Occo Flex, looking for a big season from him this year. He was a bit of a flop last year, but I'm persisting with him. I want to get some performances out of him. They have cut us open with that pass there, and what a save from Hilson. But it was a lovely pass to play them in. Our defence was just split in two. We need Tanganga back and quick. That's what we've learned from these first couple of matches, I think. But Hilson is having an absolute blinding game. 6 clear-cut chances now for Wolves, and Hilson's having the game of his life. He's closing in on winning the Man of the Match award, playing in goal for a team that was probably going to lose, which shows just how well he's playing. Occo Flex is going to be the first player to come off. I think I'm going to bring Jacob. Do I want to bring Brown on? They're saying Barlow. You know what? Let's bring Barlow on. Let's go with what the assistant manager says. Skuck hasn't played well today, so we'll give Hornby the chance to come on and show that he was our top scorer last year. It is a little bit harsh to just drop him like a stone because we found a young Bosnian player. This is Football Manager, not real life, is it? You found a young Bosnian. That's the end of my career. Right, Hilson. What's he going to conjure up from in goal? Stockbridge plays it all the way back to Hilson again. I mean, I know Hilson's having a good game, but we don't need to get him involved in every attack. Pieri plays it forward, looking for Hornby. Hornby trying to beat his man there, couldn't quite get past him. And Wolves have done the weird little back heel, keeping the ball in thing, and Hornby's there and should have scored. That's our best chance of the game so far. And It seems like we're up for it a little bit now. We've made these changes. Chong with the free kick. Don't really know who he's looking for there. It was a poor free kick, but Stevens comes away with the ball, plays it all the way back to Pieri as we try and get ourselves set back up in our formation again. And it's Hilson in one of these terrifying positions that we don't like to see him in. Did find Williams though, and now Chong on the right hand side. He's coming off if he doesn't do something fancy here. And yeah, I think it's time to take Chong off. We're going to take him off right now, because he's just having one of those days, isn't he? We'll have another look at Le Chabella. I know Brown is down there on the bench as well, but Brown was so poor towards the end of last season that I'm loath to use him at the moment, because he was just not very good for quite a long time. Very much looking like a championship player, and there is another goal for Wolves. And again, you've got to look at the stats and say they deserve it. We've not been close to as poor as we were against Liverpool, but we've given away so much at the back. Defensively, we've been very, very poor. And it is going to take some time for our new defence to gel together, I think. We're going to ask them to get creative. We'd already asked for some passion, so let's have some creativity to go with our passion. Is there any way we can fight? An equaliser would be lovely. Losing our first 2 games, not ideal. And there's our second left-back sent off this season. Good job we signed so many. This is the theme of our new season, is it? We're just going to get players sent off all the time. Oh, my word. We may as well just go to a back 3. I mean, Panzo can play left back. We haven't got anyone else. Can you just move over there? Can you move over there? Wow. There you go. We're going to go to a back 3 and drop them back, maybe. Drop one of them back. What am I doing? I'm just pressing buttons now. There you go. We'll do this. What am I doing? It might work. Who knows? Show some passion. We've got to stop collecting yellow cards amongst our defenders. We're asking for trouble. There is. I was going to say work to do. I don't know that it is work to do. There's clearly going to be a period of gelling time needed, certainly for the defence, but probably for the whole team. Although team cohesion, supposedly according to Dynamics, is looking good, it's pretty clear this is a team that aren't used to playing together, and we shouldn't be letting anybody have 7 clear-cut chances against us. Never mind a team that finished below us last year. That's the really worrying thing. Wolves have obviously moved on over the summer a lot further than we have, despite us spending so much money. We've not made as much progress as they had. But then we kept looking at them last year and wondering why they were doing as poorly as they were, because they shouldn't have been down at the level they were at. So I guess we can't worry too much. But I'm disappointed with losing this one. I thought we'd at least beat Wolves, or at least pick up a point, which it doesn't look like we're going to do. Stevens across to Panzo. We haven't even got time to have an attack. No, we haven't. That was also not very good. There is work to do here at Barnsley, boys and girls, and we will come back probably early October to show you what work has been done. I mean, it seems like a long time, but that's only 5 league games, so we'll come back sometime in October and have a look to see how we're getting on, and hopefully we'll have found our first couple of victories before then. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.